Hi everyone, today I want to show you how I vibe coded this dashboard just to make a decision to which energy provider I should switch and which tariff plan I should choose. So before we dive in of how I build it and why I build it, let's just start talking about what is vibe coding. So we need to start first of all with what is software development. We're talking about software development, we're talking about the software developer lifecycle. SDLC, which as you can see here, it's starting with planning. And then once we have planning and we understand what we want to build, we have requirements. So we're just building the requirements of that planning. Then we have system design, which is not UI design. It's actually how we're going to design the system that we're building. Then we have coding. Usually inside coding, we have code review, we have testing, we have other stuff, and then we have deployment, maintenance, and usually the cycle just going to the beginning because now we have either bugs or new features that we want to develop. So we're going back and doing planning again and so on and so forth. So this is how we usually traditionally building software. When we're going to vibe coding, it's a quick way to skip most of this cycle. So basically we just need to do the planning and the requirement. Now, most of the vibe coding tools are not doing the planning. You still need to do the planning yourself or somewhere else. And then they're just doing the requirements, which is what we're calling the prompt, where we actually describe what we want to achieve out of this session. And then everything is up to the agent to start building whatever we need. And then we're just getting the results back and we are fine to go. But then we need to understand what we got in our hand. So usually vibe coding won't give you production ready software. It just doesn't work like this way. I mean, maybe in the future it will, but we are in the middle of 2025. The technology is not ready to give you something that you can put on production unless you ask for something that is so simple, like a very, I don't know, like a website for a restaurant, maybe you can do with vibe coding. But if you have some kind of sophisticated need, vibe coding is not a solution. But what it is good for is for prototyping. So if you need to do like an MVP and you want to show it to your investor, your manager, your even potential customers, and you don't want to spend all the money, time, energy that you need to do on the full lifecycle, using vibe coding can get you very fast to something that looks amazing, works basically, and you can just start getting reaction from yourself to do better planning in the future, or from the people around you, stakeholders in your business, or even, as I said before, potential customers. So this is what we're using vibe coding for. The other good thing that's coming from vibe coding, from my point of view, is also you could save a lot of time and energy to create something just for yourself. So if you don't thinking about business, not thinking about, oh, I need to make another app or whatever, you just need a tool. Vibe coding can get you there very fast, and this is what I did with this energy thing. So what was the problem? I recently installed solar panel, and now I can export energy back to the grid. And basically, I was for a long time now thinking of switching company anyway, because my friend told me that there are better tariff that I can get, and every time I start looking at it, it was so confusing. Let me show you why. So my friend was talking about Octopus. I'm now in Ovo. And if I'm just going to Octopus Smart Tariff option, you can see each one of them is a different plan. And one is more complicated than the other. It's crazy. So one of them are just like, yeah, this is a flat tariff and that's it. That's how much you're paying. And usually it was a little bit more expensive than Ovo. So that's what got me so weird about it. But when you're going to Octopus Flex or outgoing Octopus, each one of them have different price for different times of the day. So you have the peak tariff, peak rating, and then the rest of the day. But if you're going to a cozy Octopus, which is built for a heat pump, you actually have 3 times a day that the rate is very cheap. And then on the peak hour is very expensive. And the rest of the day is like another rate. And just trying to understand how much I'm going to pay was like crazy. I couldn't figure it out. But then I said, okay, this is a data problem and we know how to solve data problem, right? All I need to do is to have my previous year data and then feed it into formula that I can create and I will have like an answer. I will have a number, which is exactly what we see in the dashboard. So how did I build it? First, I got all the information of previous year. And once I got this, I went to the best vibe coding tool that I know right now, which is free, which is inside AI Studio of Google. If you're going to the area, let me show you the area over here. We have an option to do a chat, streaming, generate media, and we have build. So build is where I'm going to vibe coding. And I'm choosing this one because from my experience, it's the faster one and it's doing very amazing understanding of my real needs without me explaining too much into it. Okay? Once you open it the first time, it will ask you for the prompt. And when I did it, I just added the CSV file and I told it this is my previous year use every half an hour of energy. I want to make a dashboard that will help me understand how much I was using every day and to help me calculate the tariff and my expenses. Very quickly, I got this dashboard. I didn't tell them about colors. I didn't tell nothing. I just wanted some kind of a graph that will show me the daily use and to calculate all the data for me. So out of the box, I got this button that allowed me to upload my file, which was very easy. This area of the year, choosing month, wasn't there to begin with, but I did have the tariff option to put my tariff, and I will go that in a second. And then it created this peak usage of the day. So what is the hours that usually throughout the year I'm using most of my energy? What is the off-peak hours? And also how much energy total I used through the year. And then I have one box that shows me this is how much you paid last year. And I put the tariff that I was paying and I saw that this number is correct. So from my point of view, I knew this dashboard is working. And then I got this nice graph that show me how is the average use throughout the year, which is very, very helpful to understand that, yeah, I'm using here a lot of energy throughout the year, but also I have something that's starting at 5:30 in the morning. And that's probably the heat pump that starts hitting the house in the winter. By itself, we decided to put AI inside of it, which was kind of a surprise. I don't really need it, but now I have insights and tips out of the AI looking at my data and telling me, yeah, you need to choose this tariff, or this is some tips how to save energy, which is nuts, but I don't need it. And later on, I add this graph that I will come to in a second. So once I have this on working for me, and I could already see the data, immediately I said, wait, instead of me putting each time a different tariff, why don't I have comparisons of two of them in the same page? So this is where the vibe come into vibe coding. I didn't plan it in advance because I didn't thought that I would need it. But once I had something working very, very fast, I said, oh, it would be easier if I could just compare two tariffs. So I put another tariff. And then after that, I said, wait, but maybe I want to compare between 3 or 4 or more. So I added this option. And in here, also I started only with flat rate that you can have like a fixed rate, flat rate. That I can just say, this is my daily charging and this is how much I'm paying. This is the default rate. But then I understand I have some plans that have also peak hours. So I added peak hour. And then I found a plan in Octopus that actually have 4 different time zones through the days with different prices. So I needed something more complicated. Every time I didn't went to the code. I all the time went to the chat and just prompt my way to get another feature inside of it. And unfortunately, I think the only thing I don't like about this tool is that I don't have the history of the conversation with AI. And I think this is a huge miss because for me, that's the new coding. This is the new way that I can have an history of my business decision or my planning decision and maybe go back and see what I did and change it. But unfortunately, I cannot even show you the original prompt. Anyway, I added all those options. And I also have the monthly, so I can just figure out each month what's going on. So if I will, let's just say, if I will take the winter here, let's just take February. So in February, we can see that actually my peak hours is 5:30 in the morning, and not 6, that's as we can see in the other month. And then I have the off time, which is 1, which is where the heating system is actually shutting down. And then you can see it will be different prices than, for instance, if I will take August, which August, you can see that no heating system is working in the house. So most of the night, there's not a lot of consumption from the grid, but then around the evening, we can see more activity in the house, so more energy is going there. And each month, you can see there's a different cheapest tariff to use, but if I'm looking at overall, over the year, because that's what I want to do, I can probably choose my plan over here. But if you like to switch between tariff plan, if you can do it and you're not stuck in a contract for 1 year, this tool probably will be very helpful just to switch between them based on last year. And I only took 1 year. I could actually take 5 years and play with that. So that was really, really helpful to make a decision. And for me, that's enough. I don't need this tool anymore. I make a decision, I contact Octopus, choose my plan, and that's it. I can throw it to the garbage, or I can share it with my friends and family. I don't think it's a product. I don't need to make an app of it, but I can definitely go to this button over here and click deploy to Cloud Run. And for that, I will need an account in GCP. And to put an account, I do need my credit card or debit card, though they won't charge anything for you. And if you're a new user there, you have like $300 free to start it, or maybe pounds, I don't remember. But you can start with nothing. And I think most of the usage here won't cost you anything. Maybe the AI option, if it will be used a lot, it will cost some money, but I will probably dump it. I won't even use that because I don't care about the tip they're giving. I can see really quickly which plan is better for me. So, and I could probably deploy it, hosting it. If it's only between family and friend, I don't think the hosting or anything, you will even reach one of the free rate limit that they have on GCP. So it will probably be free for the rest of the year. But as you can see right now, this thing says that I'm not connected to any cloud product. So everything I did here was for free. Everything's for free. And I can actually also share this with other people who are using the AI Studio. So I can send it by email to a friend and he can just run it. So tool is free, crazy good, really good of understanding my needs, my requirements pretty fast, and give me like, I think this is a beautiful dashboard. If I had to do it myself, probably won't spend time even to do all those icons and this graphic, but he just did it in seconds. So that was good enough. Let's talk about how did I get the data? So when I went to OVO website, I could see the daily usage of half an hour, but it was like every day as itself and no export data. And I couldn't export the information according to GDPR, sorry. They must give me this information. So I'm sure that if I would send them an email, I would get this information. I tried the chatbot. It's a lousy chatbot. I tried to call them. I had to wait online. So I decided, no, I'm not going to do it. Let me just code this way. Now, once I understand the problem that I need to get information from a secure website, I knew it's not going to be an easy task. I did it before we had AI, so I know how to do it. And when I thought it, I said, no, that's too complicated as an MVP. So I'm sure vibe coding tools won't be able to do it. But I had to try, right? So I did try. And they were miserably failed. They gave me a solution that I know they won't work, but I let them try to do it anyway. And they failed one after the other. So the way I did it is I also didn't want to write the code. So I use Hive coding, which is a method that I developed when I'm using a few different AI coding tools together as one brain to solve real problem. Very fast, very good. And with this method, I was able to guide it to understand what's difficult and then have like a quick conversation between the tools of how it should really be solved. And once we figure out the way, we just solve it in I think about an hour, I got all my information back. So probably if I would wait online, it will take me, I don't know what's the waiting line, but probably half an hour. That's my experience from the past. And then they will probably ask for my email to send it back to me. And it will take a few days to get the information. And then after an hour, I got 1.5 years of data. I could create this dashboard that you just saw. So vibe coding is not for everything, but it's very, very efficient if you need to build yourself small tool, automations of stuff, and of course, prototypes. Rapid prototypes, that's the best thing. So this is me showing you one option to do. I had many different solutions, and sometimes the kids just come to me and said, yeah, can you just do us this and that? I said, no, no, no. You're going to vibe code it. Go there and try yourself and convince the tool to build you whatever you need. And sometimes it's like stupid apps, sometimes it's like very impressive apps, but it's all for personal use. Okay, before ending, I just want to give you some tips of how I think you should vibe code. So first of all, don't aim for the moon. That's not the tool for that. Start small. Just think about what you can achieve right now and build the first feature out of it. And then when you see that it's working and you're fine, then add more feature and more feature on top of it. And practice it, because if you're not practicing a tool, you not really understand how to use it, and you won't remember to use it when you actually need it. So my advice to you is go to ai.dev. This will lead you actually to aistudio.google.com. That's the official website. Go to the build area and just build something small that you're using. If you're using, I don't know, shopping list, then just build a shopping list that is tailored for your needs. I know you have an app that you're doing it already and you're very happy with it. That's fine, but this is just for practicing. And if it's not shopping list, maybe it's, I don't know, a stopwatch or exercise reminder or whatever. Just build something that you can see how the tool is working. So later on, when you will come into a need of something, it will at least be in your head that there is an option that I can build it myself. Yeah, go there, try. If you have something nice, you can share it with me in the comment. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. If you want to hear about Hive coding, I will make another video about it. So feel free to subscribe so you won't miss it. And of course, if you learned something new, please like this video and help other people also learn from it. Thank you very much. See you soon.